surrenderen. Surrender and surrender.
Saraswatam Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nastapraesha Vatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki Tada Rajastamo Bhava Kamalova Dayaschaye Chetayetayanavidam Stitam Sattvam Vasidati Evam Prasanam Manaso Bhagavat Bhakti Yogataha Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Hridayakantaschityante Savasamsaya Kshiyante Chasya Kavani Trashta Evatmanishvare Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yat Vaishnavanam Priyam Yasmin Paramahamsyam Ekam Amalam Jnanam Param Giyate Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Naishkamyam Avrishkatam Takshran Sakran Vitarano Bhaktya Vimuchyan Naraha Dhamma Prochita Kaitavotra Paramonyamat Saranam Satam Vedyam Vastavam Atravastu Shivatam Tapatrayon Mulanam Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamuni Krite Kimvapari Ishvaraha Sadhyo Hriya Vavutyate Atrakatipi Shushushabhistat Kshana Nikamakal Patavu Galitam Palam Shukamukhat Amritam Travasam Yutam Pipata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuaho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavuka Nigamakal Patavu Kalitam Palam. We are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 23. Text number 34. Aspashta kirti suyasha Murko bhavati pandita Idam swastyayanam pumsam Amangalya nivaranam Aspashta kirti suyasha Murko bhavati pandita Idam swastyayanam pumsam Amangalya nivaranam Aspashta kirti suyasha Murko bhavati pandita Idam swastyayanam pumsam Amangalya nivaranam
Aspashta kirti suyasha Murko bhavati panditaha Idam swastyayanam pumsam Amangalya nivaranam
Aspashta kirtihi Entschuldigung. Aspashta kirti suyasha Murko bhavati panditaha Idam swasti ayanam pumsam Amangalya nivaranam
Aspashta kirti suyasha
Aspashta kirti suyasha
Murko bhavati pandita
Murko bhavati pandita
Idam swasti ayanam pumsam
Idam swastyayanam pumsam
Amangalya nivaranam
Amangalya nivaranam
Aspashta kirti suyasha
Aspashta kirti suyasha
Murko bhavati pandita
Murko bhavati pandita
Idam swasti ayanam pumsam
Idam swastyayanam pumsam
Amangalya nivaranam
Amangalya nivaranam.
Aspashta kirti suyasha
Aspashta kirti suyasha
Murko bhavati pandita
Murko bhavati pandita
Idam swastyayanam pumsam
Idam swastyayanam pumsam
Amangalya nivaranam
Amangalya nivaranam. Aspashta kirti
Aspashta kirti
unmanifested reputation
Unmanifested reputation
Suyashaha
Suyasha
very famous
Very famous
Murkaha
Murkaha
illiterate
Illiterate
Bhavati
Bhavati
becomes
becomes
Panditaha
Pandita
learned
Learned
Idam
Idam
this
This
Swasti ayanam
Swastyayanam
auspiciousness
Auspiciousness
Pumsam
Pumsam
of the man
of the man
Amangalya
Amangalya
inauspiciousness
Inauspiciousness
Nivaranam
Nivaranam
prohibiting.
Prohibiting.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Also, one who hears this narration 3 times will become very reputable if he is not recognized in society, and he will become a great scholar if he is illiterate. In other words, hearing of the narrations of Prithu Maharaj is so auspicious that it drives away all bad luck. Purport. In the material world, everyone wants some profit, some adoration, and some reputation. By associating in different ways with the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotee, one can very easily become opulent in every respect. Even if one is not known or recognized by society, he becomes very famous and important if he takes to devotional service and preaching. As far as education is concerned, one can become recognized in society as a great learned scholar simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, wherein the pastimes of the Lord and his devotees are described. The material world is full of dangers at every step, but the devotee has no fear because devotional service is so auspicious that it automatically counteracts all kinds of bad luck. Since hearing about Prithu Maharaj is one of the items of devotional service, Shravanam, naturally hearing about him brings all good fortune. Om Ajnana Timidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Shashruvan Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagadakam Sagana Ravanatam Tam Sajivam Sapetam Savadutam Padana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Shakanditam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavan Sute Devi Panamam Haripriye Pancha Kalpadarupyascha Kripa Sindhu Praevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Aspashta kirti suyasha, murko bhavati pandita, idam swasthayanam pumsam amangalyanivaranam. Also, one who hears this narration 3 times will become very reputable if he is not recognized in society, and he will become a great scholar if he is illiterate. In other words, hearing of the narrations of Prithu Maharaj is so auspicious that it drives away all bad luck. So here we hear about the power of Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha is unlimitedly powerful. Not only gives it us spiritual benefit, but even material benefit is supplied. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Ananyas chintayanto mam tesham Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana payupasate tesham nitya viyuktanam yoga kshema vahamyan. That Krishna, he promises to his devotees that I will take care of them. Whoever comes on this path, whoever hears about him, speaks about him, who dedicates his life to the Supreme Lord, he doesn't have to worry about any material facilities. Because Krishna promises, he says, Vahami aham. Aham means I personally come and will provide whatever is needed. Prabhupada, he explains or tells a story about Arjunacharya. He was a great scholar, I don't know, maybe 500 years back. And he was writing a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. And he was looking at this shloka, Vahamyam, Kshema Vahamyam, that Krishna says, I personally come and deliver the goods. I will bring whatever the devotee needs. And this Arjunacharya, he was thinking, I don't think he will come personally. So he changed that line and he made it that Krishna will send his representative, someone will come. So that time he was taking some rest and he was going for taking a bath, and he left the Gita as it is, his translation, his, how do you say, what did I say before? His commentary when he was writing. So he left, he went to take bath, and while taking bath, his wife was alone at home. And suddenly, two beautiful boys came, like very attractive and very beautiful. And they were having so much food stuff. Like Prabhupada explained, they had ghee and so many rice, dal, so many things. And it was very heavy. And you know, in India they load like this, they have this thing and then they load the bucket. So they were coming and they were very tired. And the wife said, what is this? And then they said, Arjunacharya has sent these goods for you. And then the wife was saying how he is becoming so cruel, you know. He is loading so much heavy stuff on these beautiful boys. Why he did so? And she was bewildered why Arjunacharya did so. And then she was saying, please stay, I will make a feast for you because you have brought these foodstuffs. So then they said, no, if we stay, and Arjunacharya, he will come, he will chastise. And then one boy, he turned around and he showed, you see, here's the one line. He was striking with a bamboo stick. So we are very afraid of Arjunacharya, we have to go. And then the mother said, no, you please stay, and I will make some nice arrangement for food, and I will take care. No, you don't worry about him. Then they were sitting down, and she went to the kitchen and she started to cook. And when she didn't pay attention, the boy sneaked away. So then Arjunacharya came home, and the wife was already eating, and he was thinking why she was not waiting for him. And then he said, what is the matter? And she said, she was very angry at him. She said, why you have loaded so much foodstuff, so much heavy things on these 2 poor boys? And then he said, no, I didn't. And then she said, but I saw there was so much foodstuff they were carrying, and one boy even had one striking line, one red line on the back. And then Arjunacharya understood. You know what he realized? It was actually Krishna and Balaram who came and personally delivered the goods, just to show Arjunacharya that this line of Bhagavad Gita is true, that the Supreme Lord takes care of his devotees. So anyone who's listened to this Krishna Katha, he gets all powers and he gets whatever he needs, materially as well as spiritually. Another story was there was one great king, and he was performing puja every morning. And it didn't matter what happened, he always was performing the puja. So one time, the kingdom was attacked, and the ministers, they were knocking on the door. He had locked the door, so they were knocking on the door and they said, we are attacked, you have to come. And the king said, no, I have to continue my puja, So then he was continuing the puja. And suddenly there was like, with great force out of the room came the king itself, and he was mounting a horse and he was killing or removing all the enemies and went back inside. And then after the king had finished his puja, he came out and he said, so what is the matter with the enemy? And they said, I met the king, you already finished them up. And they said, no, I didn't. I was performing my puja. So Krishna certainly, he came and he finished them all off. So another story was there. So this is the line, Yoga Kshema Pahamyam, that if we take care of devotional service, Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita, he will take care of us. Another story was there was one wife and husband, and they were very poor, So the marriage was going to be held for the daughter, so they needed money. And the husband, the wife, she had like bangles of gold. So she took the bangles and all the ornaments and she gave it to the husband. And she said, now you go and you find someone who will give you a lot of money. And then in this way we can arrange the marriage. So he went to another village. He was searching, couldn't find. And there was some Krishna Katha going on. So he was sitting down there and starting to listen. And 3 days passed. And the marriage was actually happening the next day. So after 3 days, he was so absorbed in the hearing of Krishna Katha that he completely forgot that the marriage was already 1 day before. So when he realized, oh my God, I forgot the marriage. So immediately he went back. And his wife, she came and she said, oh, we are so thankful that you have arranged such a nice marriage for us. And he said, how was it possible? I was not here, I was in Krishna Katha. So then he understood that Krishna actually came and he arranged the whole thing. So this is the wonderful thing. Krishna is Aham Bija Padapita. He is our eternal Father. And if we dedicate our lives to him, we can be sure that he will take care of us, because he promises this in Bhagavad Gita. So this is the power of Krishna Katha. When we engage in hearing, then all inauspiciousness is driven away, and we get materially as well as spiritual facilities. Here in this shloka it is said, Aspashta Kirti Suyasha. Aspashta Kirti means someone who is not famous, not known in society. Suyashaha. Yashaha means fame, and Su means very. Not only he will become famous, but very famous. And Prabhupada in the purport, he writes, even if one is not known or recognized by society, he becomes very famous and important if he takes to devotional service and preaching. He particularly puts the word preaching. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in the 18th chapter that no one, this is a very secret of the Bhagavad Gita, no one is as dear to me as the devotee who preaches my glories. So therefore, that person, Suyashaha, he will become very famous all over the world. Not only over this world, but it said, Ebe Yashak what is it? Eshe Yashak Tribhuvana. Tribhuvana means Triloka. Svagaloka, Bhuloka, and the upper planetary systems. Like we heard in the last shloka when I was there, we were discussing that Arji was going up, the wife of Prithu, she was going up in an airplane to Vaikuntha. And the Devas, they were surprised and they glorified her. So, therefore, if someone is a devotee, he becomes glorified all over the 3 worlds. Only some fools, rascals here in this material world will maybe not know him, but everyone else in the universe, the great rishis and sadhus, they will all know him. Because it is glorious, and the Devas, they see that if someone has completely dedicated himself to devotional service. Murko bhavati pandita. The second thing is, if he is a murka, a foolish person, without any learning, vimudana who doesn't know what is going on in life, if he just listens to this katha of Prithu Maharaj, then it is promised here in this Shruti Phalam, in this saying what is the result of listening of Prithu Maharaj, he will become panditaha, a learned man. And Prabhupada in the purport he writes that if someone hears Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, he will become learned in this material world. Because whatever knowledge we need is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It will make us a learned person. Idam swastyayam pumsam this story of Prithu Maharaj is so powerful and so auspicious. Amangalya Nivaranam, it drives away all inauspiciousness. So, I'm too fast, or it's okay? Sometimes I'm going too fast. I have to put one gear down. So it is, this material world is called Amangalya. Amangalya means it is very inauspicious place, because we are here in this material world and there is death at every moment. You understand English? Yeah, okay, yeah. I understand. You were there, huh?
Ja.
You understand something? Little bit. Ja. So hier in diesem Shloka wird eben gesagt, dass man verschiedene Sachen bekommt, oder? Wenn man, also Harikatha oder Krishna Katha oder diese Story von Prithu Maharaj ist so powerful, dass sie uns alles Materielle gibt, aber auch Spirituelle, oder? Und das ist der Punkt von diesem Purport. So here it is said, idam swastyanam pumsam amangalya nivaranam, that simply by hearing about this Krishna Katha, all inauspiciousness is driven away. So this material world is a place of inauspiciousness, because the kleshas, the three kleshas, Adhyatmika, Adidaivika and Adibhautika are there. And Anumurtyu Yavan, when this will become soon the story of Puranjana, Narad Muni is preaching to this Prachina Vaishya, the king. And he says, just try to understand your position in this material world. And he said, imagine that a deer is standing on the, there's a forest, and then how do you say Lichtung in English? Lichtung? Lichtung means there's like forest surrounding, and then in the middle there's a very beautiful place with green grass, and you get it? It's called Lichtung in Germany. I don't know in English. It's you have the forest around, and then suddenly there is like a green grass in the middle, and it's very beautiful because it's surrounded by the forest. So Narad Muni tells Prachina Vaishya, because he was too much engaged in sense gratification, he didn't realize his position in the material world. So he said to him that just imagine that it is just like you are standing in this Lichtung, and behind there is a tiger waiting for you in the forest, and in the front there is already a hunter who has put its arrow on you. So that is the position in the material world. He said in the shloka, Anumurtyu Yavan, that death is always there. Kshanada Pandits used to say, Sharira Kshanavitpamsi, that this Sharira, Kshanavitpamsi, can be destroyed within one moment. Prabhupada, when he gave a presentation, classes, he said, Kshana means one eye blink, just like this. It can be already finished. This is the truth. But because of Maya, we don't understand this. Maya is unlimitedly powerful. Daivi Esha Mama Eva Durataya. He is insurpassable, and she takes away our knowledge. Avaranatmika Shakti, the power of Maya. Maya has two energies, Avaranatmika Shakti and Prakshepa Atmika Shakti. Ich glaube, der Ding versteht nichts unter. Tust du ihn übersetzen, ja. So the Maya, she takes away Maya Abrutta Jnana, she steals our knowledge. And therefore it is not possible for us to understand our position in this material world, that we can actually die at every moment. We don't realize it. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, happily we live our life. We eat, sleep, take nice clothes, and we enjoy the life. But we don't really realize that death can be there at any moment. Therefore we don't become serious in our spiritual life, because we think always we have some time, This is the work of Maya, the wonderful work of Maya. So therefore this material world is amangalya, because we don't know what will happen tomorrow. We can get cancer, we can get a very heavy disease, or we can die, or one of our friends can die. Anything can happen. Like I can walk out of the temple, and there is this road, and there it's very dangerous. This side, this side when the road is coming, the turnaround, and you're not careful, the cars are coming. I heard there was one accident recently. So this is a very dangerous place, this material world. Padam padam yad vipadam nate sham. That Prabhupada says it is a very dangerous place, and he doesn't quote the purport, the shloka, but in the 10th canto it is said, Padam padam yad vipadam At every step there is danger, and we don't know when it will happen. And no insurance in the world can actually say that we are going to live one more day. Like, you can pay hundreds of millions of dollars, but they cannot promise us that we live one more second. Because if Daiva, the supreme authority, decides that our body, it's time to go, then she will finish us up. So this is the power of Maya, that she covers us and we don't realize how we are in this very dangerous position and we are not serious about our spiritual life. But when we listen to Krishna Katha, we get power, not only material power, but the soul gets nourishment. The soul is in this state or in this time, it is very weak, So because it is very weak, it is going for sense gratification. There are 4 things which increase our Maya. So 4 things in this material world, that is the 4 sense gratification, that we want to have illicit sex, we want to take intoxication, many they take marijuana and they drink alcohol. So these 4 activities, why people do this? Because the Atma is very weak. Ye lila amrita vina, it is said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, those who are without vina, without the Harikatha, with Katamrita, with the nectar of the glories of the Supreme Lord, their soul, tabe bhaktara, those bhaktas who are not listening to Krishna Katha, durbala jiva, they become very weak. And Maya, she is, Prabhupada explained in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, he gives a wonderful example. He says it's just like the flies. When they see the light, they have no power to withdraw, they cannot go away. When they see the light, in India you see it, they have this light. And in the morning, you see so many flies are there, it's all black. Because every one of the flies went into the fire. Because they think, it's very beautiful, this fire, it's very golden, and they're very attracted to the rupa, to the form of the fire. So they have no intelligence actually to withdraw. So similarly, when the Atma is very weak, it becomes attracted to the sense gratification, to this Maya. Maya Sukhaya Baram Utpahatovi Mudan. Prahlad Maharaji says that the people of this world, they take a great burden on their head. Maya Sukhaya, simply for the sukha, for the happiness coming from Maya. Maya gives us the promise that in future, if we work very hard, we become very happy. But actually, the Atma is never happy by material things. There was a story, I hope I get it right, long time I told it. There was a boy, and the mother said, you have to work very hard. And the boy said, my mother, why I should work so hard? And the mother said, so you become very strong. And then the boy said, why I should become very strong? And the mother said, so you can work more. And then the boy said, but why I should work more? Then she's finally, I think I not get it perfectly, but she said, so you can, yes, I got it. Sorry, now I have to start all over. The mother, so the mother said, my dear boy, eat your bread. And the boy said, Mama, why I should eat bread? And then the mother said, so you become very strong. And then the boy said, why I should become very strong? And then the mother said, you can work very hard. And then the boy said, why I should work very hard? And the mother said, so you can buy more bread. And the boy said, why I don't want actually bread. So this is the position. The materialist, Nate vidu svata katim hi vishnum durasha yepahi atamaniya. This shloka, Prabhupada liked it very much. One time he was with the Beatles, George Harrison. And then he wanted to show the beauty of the verses, and he quoted this shloka. So, Nate vidu svata katim hi vishnum durasha yepahi atamanina. Andayata andayupaniyamana te pishatandriyam udami pada. The materialists, they convince us that we should work very hard for this material pleasure, for the sense gratification, to get some things in this material world. But actually our Atma, it doesn't want actually these things. There is no benefit. So the point here is that when the Atma is weak, it becomes attracted to these 4 kinds of activities, breaking the regulative principles. So therefore, it is very clear to everyone that people in this world, they are completely in darkness, in ignorance. They are blinded by the darkness of ignorance. That's why they run for this marijuana, for this drugs, for this alcohol. Because Atma is blinded, is very weak. Apashyatam Atma Tatvam Griheshu Grihamedinam. Those who don't have any knowledge of the soul, they are apashyatam. They don't actually be able to see what is going on in this material world. So therefore it is said, Jnana Charakshaya, that the Guru, the spiritual master or the sadhus, they have one Shalakaya. Shalakaya? Shalakaya means one tool. When someone has cataract, cataract, it's some disease in the eyes. Then in Ayurveda it's called Shalakaya, and they can remove the cataract by this. So Jnana Shalakshaya, what is it? Jnananjana Shalakaya, that they have a tool which removes, and Anjana, it's an ointment, the knowledge, or the ointment of knowledge, they are using this Shalakaya, this tool, to apply it on our eyes. You understand, like in Ayurveda, they use the Shalakaya to remove the cataract. So similarly, the Guru, the Sadhu, they have an ointment of knowledge and they can apply it to our eyes. And then Shakshu Unmilitam, our eyes are opened. We actually see what is going on in this world. We see that this is a very dangerous place, Amangalya, it is a very inauspicious place. So then, if someone is able to see, he will become very serious in spiritual life. He will not waste any time. He will not go for marijuana, drugs, etc. Because now he knows that I don't have much time. I don't know when I will die. So he does his sadhana very strongly because he realizes actually the position in this material world. This is called Sambandha Gyan. Therefore the Guru or the Sadhu, he is giving Sambandha Gyan. And by this Sambandha Gyan, our knowledge are opened. And then we also understand what is Abhideya, what is the process to come out from this situation of this material world. Abhideya means the process, the sadhana bhakti. So he gives us the process to overcome this inauspiciousness. And this is Harikatha. Shravanadi, bhakti starts with hearing. Shravana Adi, Adi means beginning. Without Shravanam, we don't have any strength, any power to do Kirtanam. Like, if I only listen to Maya Katha, then whatever comes out from my mouth will be also Maya Katha, So therefore, if we are not careful and listen to all these worldly things, it will make our Atma very weak, and we lose our taste for spiritual Katha, for Hari Katha. So therefore the spiritualists, they are very careful from which source they are listening. And they only listen to this Hari Katha because they know it will make my Atma more strong. It will give me strength in chanting. When Sanatana Goswami went to Mahaprabhu, he told him, if you want to overcome the 10 offenses, if you want to chant purely, you have to listen daily, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, to the Srimad Bhagavatam, because that gives you the power to overcome the offenses. Api Pramadaha, especially the one offense, Pramadaha, which means madness. Madness means inattentiveness, because the name, Binatvam Nama Naminu, the name of Krishna is not different from Krishna. And when we are chanting and we do like we take a phone and we go here and there, then it is madness, because we have the opportunity to remove Maya, to come close to Krishna, but we are not doing it due to pramada, madness. So this madness and this inauspiciousness, it will all go away by the process of listening Harikatha. This is the power. It is also said, I think it's Rupa Goswami, I'm not sure. He says, Kleshagni Shubhada Moksha Laguta Krit Sudolabha. He says, when someone does bhakti, then 6 things start to happen. The first is Kleshagni. Kleshagni, all sufferings will go away. Someone chants, he is Harikatha, the sufferings will go away. And Shubhada, the situation in this material world, although it is inauspicious, will become auspicious for him. You know, there was a story, today is Ekadasi. There was one man, he was going for taking bath in Ganga on Ekadasi. So he went to take bath, and on his way back, there was some naughty person, very envious person, and he wanted to stop his sadhana because he knew that person is going after taking bath in Ganga. Now he is going for his sadhana. He wanted to chant and read Bhagavatam. So that person was spitting on him. You know, he was standing on the roof and spitting, and there was, how do you say, spit all over his dhoti. So that person didn't become angry. He just went back to the Ganges and took bath again. And again, when he went back, again a person on the roof was spitting at him. And again, no reaction. You know, the person on the roof was thinking, now he will become angry, but nothing. It's just peaceful. Went back to the Ganga, took bath. And this went on the whole day, you know. It went on the whole day. He was coming, spitting, going back, Ganga bath, coming. And finally, that person on the roof, he shouted. He became so angry because he wanted to make that person disturbed, you know. Because he knew he wanted to disturb his sadhana. But it was not possible. So finally, he became disturbed, yeah. And he shouted. And he said, how is it possible that you don't become angry? All your day is wasted. It's a courtesy and you couldn't do any sadhana. And then that person said, oh my dear sir, it's a very auspicious day. I have never taken so many baths in Ganga on Ekadasi. So this is the position. The inauspiciousness becomes auspicious by the power of bhakti, by the power of listening Harikatha. When the Pandavas, they were put in so many tribulations. Bhima, they were given a cake of poison. Their house was put on fire. So many different things happened to them. But you know what Queen Kunti Devi says? Vipada santuta shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yatsya apuna bhuvadashanam. She said, Vipada santuta shashvat, that let there be again and again calamities, let there be again and again inauspicious problems for us. Bhavato darshanam yatsya, because when these inauspicious things happen, we have the darshan, we are going more deeply, we are going more to you. And bhavato darshanam, we get your darshan. And this darshan means apuna bhava darshanam, means there will be no more material existence. Like when someone gets, I hope I don't overload you with information, it's okay. Huh? So when someone gets the darshan of Krishna, then this material existence is finished, you know. So Queen Kunti Devi, she prays that let there be calamities again and again, because that time we can remember, that time we can come close to you. So the devotees, although it is for the materialists inauspicious, but the devotees, by the power of listening Harikatha, by the power of this devotion service, they turn the inauspicious situation into an auspicious situation, you know. Like Chitraketu, he was cursed by Parvati, you know, and he was going to be a demon, and he was not afraid, and there was no fear. And you know what Lord Shiva said to his wife Parvati, because Parvati, she was very, she was very surprised that Chitraketu is not afraid. So then he said, Narayana parasarve nakutaschana vibhyati svaga apavaga narakeshu apitulyata darshina. That for devotee, svaga, heaven, and naraka, hell, are the same. Because they are always engaged in devotional service. They always remember the Lord. So for the devotees, everything becomes auspicious. Therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, Vishvam Purna Sukhayate, that the whole world is a happy place for a devotee. So we are not in this position, but it's nice to hear, you know, it's nice to hear that this is waiting for us, you know, it is waiting. If we seriously take to the chanting and hearing about Krishna, then we can actually reach this stage. This is the situation of Krishna consciousness, which we want to attain, you know. So many examples are there in the Shastra of people who have attained this situation. But what is holding us are the inauspicious activities, these things which attract our Atma to sense gratification and things of this world. The Prakshepa Atmika Shakti always makes arrangements 24 hours a day to distract us from devotional service. You know, you understand English? Yes, okay. Okay.
Thank you.
If I'm too fast, you can say. Yeah. So one time, Prabhupada, he was in a room, and they were discussing about Maya and all these things, you know, very serious talk. He was in with the sannyasis, you know, and they were talking, and suddenly there was one sound. I don't know how it was, but the sound I cannot make. It will sound funny if I make it, but suddenly there was one sound, and Prabhupada noticed the attention of all his great sannyasis went to the sound, you know. And then Prabhupada asked, what is this? And they said, Prabhupada, it's the Iceman. So then Prabhupada said, this is Maya, you know, this is the Prakshepa Atmika Shakti, you know. We want to chant the holy name, we want to hear about Krishna, but the Prakshepa Atmika Shakti is working 24/7, always making arrangements to distract us, you know. She's not allowing us to hear Harikatha. She will put so many obstacles. So in this way, we vanchitaha, you know, how do you say, before we heard about the wonderful prayers of the wives of the devas, and in the last shloka they were saying people in this world become cheated, vanchita. So this Maya is cheating everyone. Only those who listen to Harikatha every day, they get the power to not be cheated by Maya, you know. This is the real power of Harikatha. The material facilities are there so that we know that Krishna will take care. We don't have to go completely into this material world. If we really want to go to Krishna, then he promises that he will take care. And we can fully dedicate our lives to spiritual life. Because everything belongs to Krishna. And one time, the Prabhupada, they were discussing, and then they said, how you can pay this, you know, this temple, etc. And then Prabhupada said, no, it's no problem, because we have the richest father, you know. So the richest father is there, and he can supply us everything. Nityam, Tesha Nitya Vyoktanam, if you are always engaged in devotional service. So this devotional service, it starts by hearing, because hearing gives us the Shakti, the power to overcome Maya, the power to do our sadhana. If we are not hearing, we become weak. We become attracted to all these things, like even some devotees, like to marijuana, smoking, illicit sex, all these things. But if we listen to Harikatha, we get so much strength that we can overcome these things. That is the power. So when listening to Harikatha, we have to open our heart, you know. Like many times, if there is any pride, arrogance or anything, we cannot listen purely, you know. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the first step to knowledge is amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshanti arjavam. He says first amanitvam, one has to become very humble. Adambitvam, one has to become prideless. And then he can open his heart to this Harikatha. In this yuga, this Kali Yuga is all called Damba Yuga, the age of pride. Like Gauravinda Swami said, one time he imitated the materialists in this Kali Yuga. One said, I am great. And then the other said, no, I am great. And then they are fighting, you know. So no one is actually humble in this material world. And this is the problem why the Harikatha cannot flow. You know, there was one person, he was in India, he took $50,000. He wanted to make one temple for Krishna. So he went to the bank, you know, and he gave the 50,000 and he said, I want $500,000. And this bank manager said, no, how is this possible? Just 50,000, we need more, you know. I cannot give you $500,000. So then this sadhu, he said, you know, I have a good joke, you would like to hear? And then they said, okay. And then he said, if you want to do a heart transplantation, what heart would you take? The heart of an artist, a woman, or a bank manager? And the bank manager said, I don't know, you tell me. And then the sadhu said, the bank manager's heart, because it has not been used. So then the bank manager, he was giving the $500,000, you know. So if we open our heart, then all the shrunken, how do you say it? Like all these shrunken, like, you know, our heart, when it's open, then the Harikatha can enter, you know. So that is the most important. Then Krishna comes manifested in this Harikatha, because Krishna is non-different from this Krishna Kathamrita, from this nectar of Krishna Katha. Krishna is non-different. Just like the name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna, Abhinadvam Namanavyo. So similarly, this Katha is not different from Krishna. And because Krishna is Swarat, Swarat means he's independent. If he doesn't want to appear, there is nothing in the world he can do. In the Upanishad, it is said, Nayam Atma Pravacharena Rapyo Namidayana Pahuna Shrutena Yam Evaishava Nutitena Lapyas. And the last one is missing, but it is said, Namedayana Pahuna Shrutena. Not by your meda, by your intelligence, not by doing so many things, it is possible that Krishna will manifest. Yam Evaisha Vinuti Tena Lapyas. Tena Lapyas, that person gets Krishna, whom Krishna decides to appear. So Krishna is independent. And Krishna likes people who are very humble. Humble and meek. The humble and meek shall go to the kingdom of God. Jesus Christ also said. Because Prithu Maharaj, when the Indra was stealing the horse, and then it was in this situation, and Prithu, he wanted to do the sacrifice, and his son, he took back the horse, and there was a whole thing going on. And this Indra, he was introducing this bad sannyasis, these bad things. And finally Brahma came and he said, Prithu, you stop this, you're satisfied. And Prithu, he wasn't humble, he was very humble, and he accepted, and he did only 99 sacrifices. So then Vishnu comes after with Indra, and Indra excuses himself. And then Vishnu says that I'm very satisfied by your qualities, your humbleness. So this is Krishna. He appears in the Katha when the Katha is flowing. It becomes manifest when the humbleness is there. When the devotee's heart is open and they want to speak and hear about Krishna, then it will manifest. And then the whole situation in any temple, in any place in this world will change. Because this is the power of Katha. Prabhupada said that in 18 days we can take over the world. It is not a problem. The problem is, provided if you follow, you have to follow. And this is the way, Krishna Katha. If we take to Krishna Katha, then the whole situation changes. Like in the devotee society, if there is Krishna Katha, then the atmosphere changes because everyone talks about Krishna, and it becomes very sweet. And anyone entering this auspicious atmosphere, his heart will change and he will also become a devotee. Yatretante katha prashtam krishnaya prashamoyata nivairam yatra bhuteshu no dvego yatra kaschana. Kapiladev tells his mother that Yatretante kathamashta, in the assembly of Krishna Katha there is na udvega, there is no fear. Drishnaya prashamoyata, and the Trishnaya, the Asat Trishna, the desire for material things, is not there in this situation. Nirvairam, there will be no enviousness also for anyone. This is the power of Krishna Katha. Bibanti ye bhagavata atmana satam katam ratam shravanaputeshu samratam. The Kapila Dev also says, Bibanti ye bhagavata atmana satam. Drink this nectar of Katamrita, and don't drink it to the mouth, drink it to the ear. Shravana Puteshu. Shravana Puteshu means Saptami Vibhag. It means in the ear's hole. Sambratam, it should be fully filled. Not half filled, it should be fully filled with Krishna Katha. And then what will happen? Punantite Vishaya Vidushita Shayam. That the impure aim of life, Punanti, will be purified. The impure aim of life is, we want sense gratification, we want Maya Sukha, we want to go for illicit sex, for marijuana, drugs, alcohol, all these things. If someone listens Harikatha Punanti, it will be purified. Vrajanti tak sarorohantikam, and he will go to the lotus feet of the Lord. So this is the power of Harikatha, unlimitedly powerful, but it is Krishna, and Krishna is independent, and he will only appear if we become humble. In the 11th canto there were some devotees, and they were all equally qualified, every one of them was equally qualified. But they selected one speaker, and then every one of the others became humble, because they wanted to create this Krishna conscious atmosphere, this Krishna Katha. So this is what satisfies the Lord. When we come, like in the Bible is also said, when one or two or more persons come together in my name, I am there, So Jesus Christ also said This is the only thing which can satisfy or quench the thirst of my soul. You know, this katha about